Hey, babe, you're not still downloading Kingdom Hearts, right?
No.
Okay, just checking. Hey, everybody, it's Ace Attorney, the Great One, and Josh is here.
Yeah.
Also, heads up, babe, my alarm is going to go off in about 23 minutes for laundry. Can you go change it when that happens, please? Thank you.
Exciting laundry talk on this stream.
Yeah, Mr. Natsume's
That's how you
arrest.
know it's gonna be a good one.
Oh, we haven't
All
actually
right,
heard the
this
testimony
this
yet.
one. Correct. I think
So,
I
hold
think
on,
you did that on
let me
purpose.
check the
But...
history, yes. Scotland Yard does not arrest people without good cause. Inspector Grip, formal testimony explained why you came to arrest Mr. Natsume. Cool. So yes, he's going into the why now.
To the why.
The why.
All right, let's see. All right. So we start with Gumshoes, who's up
Yeah.
here. Hey, pal.
Hey,
And then we
pal.
just try to make that Cockney. Oi, Gov.
There you go. Perfect. 10 out of 10. A flawless performance.
Hey, pal. Oi, Gov. They just say that back and forth for like 6 years. As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when it occurred, and there was unusually light fog. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one else but the victim and the accused.
That's, I believe, blatantly untrue. But
Out of the
fine.
blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Those being a number of old books he had just bought. He was on his way from bookshop, it seems. It's a matter of working out who the books belong to, and we found the bloke to arrest them.
Yeah, that all tracks. Except I'm pretty sure the visibility was quite bad, actually.
I haven't forgotten that voice.
How could you
Yes,
ever?
my lord. I have a photograph here. We have seen a crime. We can take it immediately after the incident.
I'm glad they took a picture without bothering to take the knife out of this woman's back. They took the time to take the picture first. There doesn't seem to be any blood, which is weird.
Right?
Here, let me... How do I turn off
like,
shit?
at all.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Not the button.
Do you want a history that quick?
Yeah.
I will take that photographic print as evidence, please, Inspector.
I was trying to turn the thing off so we could see the whole picture, but I guess we can just do it now. The crime scene photograph has been added to the court record.
Your Nipponese are a spineless breed. Too cowardly. Okay, well, fuck you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't see anything in particular about this. The lack of blood on the knife is the only thing I find weird about this image.
It is weird. Turns
Unless
out
she was wearing
that
an
person's not
especially
fat.
thick
They
coat.
just wear a lot of coats.
Yeah, that. Maybe it's just an especially thick coat.
That is true, Mulga. You don't want to take the knife out. That keeps the blood in.
That's true, I suppose.
Your Nipponese are a spineless breed, too cowardly to admit defeat. Denying everything, despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary.
Well,
Forgive me, Lord Van Zeeks, but the defendant is not denying everything, as you put it.
What are you doing, Miss Sosato?
Go on! Mr. Natsume has admitted to playing some part in the incident. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruto?
Well, now that you mention it, when we visited him in the prison yesterday, he did tell us what all had happened. As I was walking along that accursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat she was, and just as I went to overtake her, she suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed onto the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet. I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran as fast as my legs would carry me back to my accursed lodgings.
A great overcoat.
Well, that's exactly what the woman in that print is wearing. Oh my, a photographic print in full color. What will the world come up with next? The defendant has done nothing more than admit he fled the scene of a terrifying incident. That does not mean he's guilty of the heinous crime of stabbing the woman in the back.
There was nobody else there at the time. Just the two of them. They could make it if they tried. The victim and the accused. In other words, there is nobody else who could have possibly stabbed the woman.
I'm wondering if your thick coat theory is true and she just, like, bent wrong at the wrong angle or something and suddenly was stabbed.
Maybe.
Like, maybe the
It's
knife
hard
was
to
there
say.
for a while.
Right?
God, I love that point.
It's really good. A fact that the accused concedes.
Ugh.
Boy.
This wall evidence on good proof of the bit of full count rule. Proceed.
Yes, my lord. Nothing for it. I have to use this cross-examination to turn the tables here. It's our only chance. Cross-examination. Mr. Natsume's arrest. 5 o'clock in the afternoon, the incident occurred, and there was an unusually light fog. Hold it! I thought it was quite the dense fog. A light fog, you say?
Well, right for London, you can see the opposite side of the street for once. Not much farther, though.
That's light, is it?
It's foggy hell, isn't it? Out in these parts, yes. Not something I'd expect a Japanese fella like yourself to know, of course.
I've read that London is famous for its fog, but in my country people usually imagine that gives the city a rather beautiful appearance.
I don't think that tisk registered. Let me try again. Nah, that's not quite right, is it?
I don't know.
I don't know how to tisk. I've never known.
Cheh.
Shh.
Cheh.
Eh,
Maybe you have to exaggerate a little
Boy, how quaint.
bit. Yes, exactly.
Yes, well, it's not something us Londoners and their size I expect you can appreciate.
I don't
see.
know why his voice cuts off so much in my throat. It just does, and I can't really stop it.
It's Tom.
It's like, you see what I mean? Like, I can't
Yeah.
stop doing that, and I don't know. It's real staccato-y. I do all my
Like you're-
lines
it's
just
like you're talking into a fan.
right?
It's Tom of year.
Damn it.
The fault causes a large number of accidents, especially when it's heavy. Sometimes you can't even see your own hand at the end of your arm.
Hmm.
Indeed. The other day, I was very neatly trampled.
I'm sorry, that was normal judge voice. Let me try again.
Indeed.
I'm dying. I don't know it. Anyways,
The other day, I was very nearly trampled by horses to carry their bullet.
Ugh. Susato-san and I should definitely remember to stop, look, and listen.
however, on the day that concerns us, the fog was somewhat lighter than usual. A fact no doubt lamented by the accused.
Gah.
Gah.
Gah. Reasonably good, there's no one else. Hold it! How are you able to state that with any certainty?
Quite simply, my learned friend, because that is what the witnesses to this crime have told us.
Ah, yes, Inspector Gregson mentioned the witnesses yesterday, didn't he?
That's right, one of them is a policeman, I believe, from Scotland Yard.
That is correct, ma'am.
Then we must hear their testimony.
The prosecution will, of course, call them to the stand, should it be necessary.
But wait a minute. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon in the middle of winter, it would have been dark already. No matter how light the fog might have been, no one could have seen.
I am unaware of the situation on your tiny island in the east.
The British consonant sound you're making is called the glottal stop. Fascinating.
Glottal stop. Yeah, that's what it is. Glottal.
Glottal.
I watched a Tom Scott video where he talked about glottal stops a little bit.
It's fun that word has one in it.
Glottal.
Glottal.
Glottal. Anyways, but here in the capital city of Great Britain, all main roads are illuminated in the night by gas street lights.
Ah.
The prosecution believes there would have been ample light by which to witness the crime.
What? We have not been for the first time in history. Mankind has completely conquered the darkness.
Which means we really need to hear those witness statements.
Correct?
If I could just get through the fog of this cross-examination, maybe we'll be able to.
Ah, I get the fog of the... Yeah.
I get it.
It seems the counsel for the defense is taking stock. Continue with your testimony, Inspector.
Okay, I'm just gonna press everything, though. Victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the table. Hold it! From behind, you say? Well, yes.
That's right. As you can see from his print.
It's, oh, my controller. Dropped it.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yes, what there, Inspector? The handle of the weapon is clearly protruding from the victim's back.
Wait a minute. Okay, it's the same knife. Just checking. Making sure I'm not being fooled by something that easy.
You've had a poor woman, Miss Gray, remains in critical condition. Comatose, no less. I'm afraid so, my lord. You're being treated at bots. What will actually come round for a trial sort of, so the next statement will want to be. Yes, that is indeed a pity. Would have been most illuminating to hear the victim's own account of our events.
Luck is on your client's side, it seems.
Yeah. On the contrary, my client has been exceedingly unlucky.
Your force of tone is seriously undermined by those disturbingly wide eyes, I'm afraid.
Accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Hold it! Hold it! Oh, yeah? Mr. Natsume's belongings?
I think you'll find saw in there the photographic print of the crime scene.
Books.
Well, there's 8 books on the floor. That's right, my lord. Second-hand books they were, and irreparably damaged after falling in the snow, of course.
Irreparably seems harsh. Seems more reparably damaged, you know?
Right.
Like, I've dropped a book in snow. It's not like
Yeah.
instantly ruined forever,
You just
for
gotta
all
be-
time.
You just gotta be quick. And maybe throw it on like a
just gotta,
towel
like-
or something when you get
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah. I mean, at most, like, the back cover is probably fucked, or the front cover. Whichever cover made contact with the snow.
But unless it was fully submerged in snow, I don't know I would have been irreparably damaged.
I've even spilled water on a book, and you just kind of, like, let that shit air out. And it's not good. Like,
not
maybe
ideal.
the antique value of it is gone, but, like, it's still a book. It's not
Still
like it
legible.
burst into flame. Yeah.
It's not like books are made
The
of sugar and
accused.
just dissolve.
My sugar book!
Oh no! I should have made it out of
Oh,
a better
no.
material. I knew it.
So that's like, haha, you idiot. That's why I make my books out of houses of playing cards. Oh no!
No, no.
The accused could have easily carried all 3 books in one hand. Which means his other hand would have been free to wield a knife, for example. He's very clever, isn't he?
What do you mean?
He's made it extremely hard for you to assert that Mr. Natsume had his hands full with the books. He's managed to close the one avenue of escape we might have had before we even knew it was there.
The defendant was holding his belongings as he thrust them off as the woman's back.
It must have been what happened, my lord, yes. Those two just have the same voice, but one of them gravels.
Yeah, true, true. Hold it! The defendant apparently visits a second-hand bookshop on a daily basis.
Yes, so I understand. A full shop with old English literature.
A shopful, and even. I commend the accused on the lofty subject matter of his scholarly attention.
The Rook's room was stacked floor to ceiling with those musty old books.
Can you tell us more about the bookshop in question, please, Inspector?
Well, if I must, I'll have to ask you to look at the street maps again, I'm afraid.
Okay. Bourbon Books.
There goes a second-hand bookshop. The accused lodgings is this place here, Bourbon Books. A little place on the corner of Broad Road in Meerschaum Street. As it happens, the accused is currently living in lodgings at the other side of Broad Road, the opposite end. Which means it doesn't take a genius to work out the route he would have taken out.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me.
Maybe he went down Calabash Road, and you don't know.
I'm betting he didn't do this, and that's why he's innocent.
Something like this.
The local map's information has been updated in the court record.
So I can get a real conclusion, Inspector.
Are we gonna learn that there's a different secondhand bookshop, like slightly further away in a different direction?
The defendant was certainly a massive scene of crime on his way over that particular shop.
Mr. Naruto, I think that what the inspector just told us could turn out to be of vital importance.
Yes, I agree. The most important point the inspector just made being the bookshop's location, I assume.
Location? I assume.
The name and stock would be meaningless.
That means nothing to us.
The crucial detail in what you've just told the court, Inspector, is the location of the bookshop.
I mean, yeah, I assumed.
So, where is it exactly?
Eh?
Are you warming me up, Sunshine, or just explain that? I got a map out everything. Use blood, broom, and ink, and drew the blokes right on home for you.
This might be... Hold on.
Home on for you.
Hold on, do we... Oh, it's a different bookshop.
Oh, it's a different bookshop. It's your books. Oh, damn.
All right.
Oh, no.
I was like, wait, do we have this piece of evidence?
Funny. At least this is funny. Look at that.
I always vaguely remember you saying you got alone, Council.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course. I must have been so nervous I didn't take it in. Okay, leave me alone.
The blunder of the day goes to you, my learned friend.
No, not yet. The trial's only just begun, after all.
Mr. Naruto, I would strongly advise you to look carefully through the
shut
court
up.
record at this stage.
Yes, miss. At once, miss. Sorry, I made a mistake, miss.
Everyone's just dunking on us.
Okay, hold on. So we'll have to press this again. And then fast forward. Yep. Uh-huh. It's a different bookshop. So those are somebody else's books then, if they're from that shop. Yep. The bookshop's name. There we go. Inspector Gregson, may I ask you a favor? I love how mad he got.
He's like, are you
What-
winding me up, sunshine?
What the fuck are you on about?
It's like, he's just like, I got out with the blooming ink. I wrote on the map in front of you. What?
Would you kindly add the name of the bookshop to your formal testimony, please? I believe it may be of vital importance.
Maybe.
Oh, well, you know. I mean, yes. It could be a very important clue.
Well, I can see it would be of great significance. But please advise your testimony coldly, Inspector.
Yes, sir, my lord, whatever you say.
Could the man be any more sardonic? I'm from Bourbon Books. Oh, was he now?
Or was he?
Objection!
Excuse me. Check, please.
If I could just stop you right there, Inspector Gregson.
What is it, Sunshine? I'm a busy man, you know.
This is a receipt that we found in Mr. Natsume's room. It was issued on the day of the incident and details the purchase of 3 second-hand books.
And you found that in the accused room, did you?
Yes, but the point is not where the receipt was found, but the name of the shop printed on it.
Go on.
This receipt was issued from a bookshop called Your Books.
Your books? Y-O-U-R, I presume.
Wait.
Why?
No. Yeah. Yes, my books. you fell for the actual joke. Incredible.
Oh, no.
I can't believe it got
boy.
you.
Listen, I'm very stupid and tired.
Listen, man, we're all having a time.
Never put me in a situation.
Yes, my lord. So Mr. Natsume did indeed purchase a number of books at a second-hand bookshop that day. However, the bookshop in question was not Bourbon Books.
What?
That's a good pose.
Inspector, you know of this other bookshop?
Yes, sir. Your books in a second-hand bookshop not far from Bourbon Books. It's just that it's in the other direction, isn't it? Well, it's such a small place. I didn't think the accused would have known about it.
Objection! But in fact,
But
that
he's
is
read
the
so
bookshop
many.
which the defendant visited on the day in question. And this receipt proves
Objection!
it. Okay.
Yes, for what difference it makes.
Why is that an objection?
Wherever the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
Objection! I disagree. I mean, after all,
I have the street map here, if that may be of help.
Oh, yes, thank you. I'm just gonna take a look, see if the address is on here. It is not. Shit. I was hoping it would be. Nope, nothing on here helps me either. Well, I guess we'll find out what he's on about. Have a look at this, please. If the defendant had been returning from Bourbon Books, then yes, he would almost certainly have passed the place where Miss Green was attacked. However, if we take into account the fact that he was actually at another bookshop, Your Books, that's my laundry alarm,
Laundry o'clock.
it may very well turn out he wouldn't have passed that location at all.
Could that be true?
My, it rather depends on where this other bookshop is, but I do declare it may be a possibility. Is that right, Mr. Lawyer, sir, what you just said? Absolutely. It could absolutely be right. Well, where's this other bookshop? Watch it be even closer.
It's like even more exactly in the way. And we're just like,
Inspector Gregson, where is your book establishment?
Well, obviously we looked into that. It turns out that your books
Ah.
He's just here on the next corner of Measham Street going east. So he could have gone Calabash Road.
Uh-huh. The local map's information
Like,
is
now
down
it's
to
less
our record.
obvious, right?
And there you have it. As you can clearly see now... Oh.
But he still would have ended up on the same road.
Yeah.
My learned Nipponese friend is obviously in training to be a clown, the way he regales us with such witticisms. To your future career in the circus.
Nah.
He really just called us an entire clown, didn't he?
He sure did.
Holy shit, Susato. You put that glass down now, and I'll put it down for you. Susato kills a vampire, stakes him through the heart. I didn't think I needed to spare that, but here we go. Getting accused of coming over from your books instead of bourbon books. It's probably we're just doing the same thing, isn't it? There's no doubt he still would have passed the place where the victim was stabbed.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah.
Well, thank you, Inspector.
Allow me to reiterate for my learned, if somewhat slow, Nipponese friend.
Okay, unnecessary.
Wherever the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
Eh!
Someone's gonna say guilty, aren't
As I
they?
suspected, you can't fool me, and I don't suggest you try. I forgot who was doing this guy.
It was me. I was Macho Man Randy Savage.
Right.
What did I say, huh? I've had enough of this now.
I beg your pardon, terribly sorry, but would you mind repeating that?
That guy's gonna have no idea what's going on the entire trial.
Yeah.
Mr. Naruto, we mustn't give up.
What? What do you mean?
The prosecution
We just have to somehow prove he went the other way.
is correct. The members of the jury may well decide that Mr. Natsume is guilty.
Ah, she's absolutely right.
We must think. We must use our brains. We must consider the assertion just put forward by the prosecution very, very carefully.
They claim Soseki-san must have passed the location of the incident on his way home from your books, but... raise an objection? Do we have any proof?
Raise an objection. What if he went the other way?
Yeah.
Well, if you look at the map, the thing is slightly down the path. Right? Like, couldn't he... If he had just, like, gone down whatever that unnamed road is, he wouldn't necessarily have had to pass over the X itself.
Yeah, exactly, like...
He would have had to dip in the alleyway. Now, I don't know if that's anything. The game might be like, nah.
He's,
A
victim of
huge
contest.
glass shard just stabbed through his palm.
Single stab wound. No, this is seen running away by the reporting officer. I'm trying to say location of Prior Road East Side. Yeah, that's correct. Roly B. I'm trying to see if
Holy
there's
beat.
anything in here that would help us at all. It seems like
I don't
no.
know, actually. It seems like no. But we have to consider something.
I don't know. I'm just gonna object to see what happens.
Yeah, I objected anyways. Fuck him.
The assertion just made by the prosecution is fundamentally flawed.
What? Van Zeeks pulls out an entire gun. He points it at you.
Oh yeah? Prove it.
Oh yeah. Let's play a game, you and me. You've asserted that my assertions are wrong. Well, I'm going to assert this gun is not loaded. What would you like to do with that?
Accelerated
Usually
healing can
vampires
be
have
a
some sort of rejuvenation. Yeah. Usually it's like the most popular depictions are like they can be healed by consuming blood.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like an OG vampire trait or not. They have a lot of garbage sort of thrown in
True.
over the
True.
years.
Explain yourself, Counsel.
Yes, my lord. You can see what I mean on this map. When returning from your books to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume could have followed the route suggested by the prosecution. However, that isn't the only conceivable route to take between the two places.
Yeah, that's why
The defendant
I
used
could have
these
just done
streets,
that.
look what happens. He arrives back at his lodgings without passing the location where the victim was attacked.
Talking back to a clown is a fool's errand, of course. However, I feel compelled to point out that
The bottle is on the table, which concerns me.
that route is what is commonly referred to as the long way around.
Ah,
On a cold winter's night, why would any man choose to take a longer route home?
well,
I don't know, because he sucks and gets lost. The answer is extremely simple. He wouldn't. In other words, the accused took the obvious route back to his lodgings and is the obvious perpetrator of this crime.
Objection! But, aha, yes, I've got it. Obviously, we must ask the man himself. Ask Mr. Natsume which route he took home.
Are you high? I've already informed the court of the accused's response to such questioning. He claims he has no recollection.
That's right. As I said, he seems to spend his time outside wandering aimlessly from A to B. There was no exception. He says he doesn't remember where he was or which route he took home.
If he wanders aimlessly, then
I don't believe this.
How would you know he takes the best route home if he wanders aimlessly? I thank you, my learned friend, and suggest that we do not waste any more of the court's time by wandering aimlessly around the subject. Pray, what say you, insightful jurors?
But even if that is the case, the defense still... Okay.
Oh no, they're pissed.
All of them? All agree with Lord... No,
I
that's
agree
not me.
with those. Fuck you. I agree with all Van-Six. Wholeheartedly and in every way.
What?
I like how
don't
you even did the
believe it.
voice that I do.
Does this mean... I know, right? I don't know.
Well, members of the jury are completely convinced now.
Oh, are we gonna have to do a minigame?
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to do the minigame.
Very well, in that case, I hereby call upon all members of the jury to present your findings to the court.
Oh,
Guilty.
Oh,
Nope.
alright.
Guilty.
Cool.
I don't gotta do
Guilty.
anything.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Well, it's not the voice I was expecting for that guy.
No, me neither.
Especially because I gave a Macho Man Randy Savage, you know? Which is on me, but still.
It would appear the jury's opinion is unanimous.
Wait, do the arbitration or whatever the fuck they called it.
Yeah, exactly.
To the insightful members of the jury, I applaud your brave resolve. You serve Queen and country admirably. Mr. Naruhodo. Do the thing! We did it last
No,
trial.
Not yet. This isn't over yet. I still have one last chance to sway the opinion of the jury. I have to tip the balance of those scales the other way. I have to turn this around. Somehow.
Those are the eyes of Quarry, not yet willing to give up and die. So I presume you intend to wield your rights again in this trial. Rights of the defense written into antiquated British law that should have been buried long ago. Oh no.
Call it
Yeah, I think I
antiquated
can
if you
recover.
will, but it's the defense's prerogative to carry out a summation examination if it so chooses.
Very well, counsel. In accordance with the letter of the law, we shall proceed with the summation examination.
I feel
That's
like we
what's
don't
called.
have enough
All
evidence
members of the
yet.
jury ready, Mr. Foreman?
Like, we've barely got anything.
We just have to turn them on each other, though.
True.
Folks, we're ready. I'm unfamiliar with the deputy's whippersnapper. His own onkus refusal will throw into this alley.
What? That's a lot of words.
I
you
like how
just
they
said,
took
Mr.
away his
Fairplay.
name. I like how they took away his name badge, even though we know who it is.
Right?
Very well then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury,
It is fun that witnesses come back as jurors later, I guess.
That is cool.
I imagine some of these jurors will also show up as witnesses later.
I will present you'll each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty.
Judicial findings. The jurors' contentions.
Oh, but his sake, that little nippin' was already admitted himself, didn't he?
If he said the woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why, it can only have been the victim. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop, not in winter. So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful.
I really don't care. Can we just wrap it up now? I've got work to be doing.
If they told you his name, they'd have to come up with names for all the jurors.
Your books,
True.
yes. Nice shop, that. But bourbon books? No, not worth a visit.
What?
Okay.
These don't seem to be
Excuse me,
particularly
though?
helpful.
Well, only my exceptions, the reasons for finding the defendant guilty are all too clear.
When the stabbing occurred, the only two people at the scene were the victim and the accused. And the accused himself has admitted to seeing the victim in her green overcoat
Is there
sink
somebody
to the
else in a
ground
fucking
before
green
his
overcoat?
eyes.
Well, all we have heard from the inspector that the defendant then fled the scene. I must say I would have epigrams to convict this man already.
Oh dear, even the judge appears convinced of Mr. Natsume's guilt now.
Why did you have to run away like that? And how are we supposed to believe in some phantom attacker that nobody could see? This is impossible. How can I possibly make a case for the defense?
Mr. Naruto, this is no time for grumbling.
We need more evidence.
If we want to force the trial to continue,
Yes, I know. I have to turn the tide. I must make the jurors change their minds. Well, 4 of them at least.
exactly. We have no choice but to forge forward.
You have the floor, counsel. Begin your summation examination.
Yes, my lord. I just need to keep this trial going somehow, whatever it takes. Come on, Ryunosuke, you can do it. Hey, Gregson. Jury examination. The defense's rebuttal. Pity's sake. Already admitted it. If you said the woman in green collapse, it can only have been the victim. Man wouldn't have gone around houses on winter. Was attacked from behind, was she? Don't care. Can we wrap this up for now? I've got work to be doing that's useful. Green? I mean, this guy's wearing a green coat. Is it really that? Is that what they want us to fucking...
He is wearing a green coat.
He's wearing a green
Oh,
coat
this
and he
guy's
likes
Ben.
the shop.
This guy goes to your books.
Objection.
Is this really what it wants from me? Those two statements clearly contradict each other. No, they don't.
I'm sorry, but as foreman of the jury, I have to object. That's complete nonsense.
What?
I'm a banker, don't forget, an educated man, and there's no contradiction as far as I can see.
Well, piss.
Quite so, Mr. Foreman. I will not permit a whimsical attack against the good members of the jury council.
There was nothing whimsical about it.
It's very important to listen carefully to every juror, Mr. Naruto. Then you can decide where the contradictions really lie, if there are any.
Are there any? Are any of them saying
I don't know.
contradictory things?
Hang on, there's got to be one.
It sends a shiver down my spine to hear the members of the jury so convinced of Mr. Natsume's guilt. But I can't help feeling that some of their opinions are rather subjective.
Oh, wait, can't we press them here? I forgot. We can do that, probably.
Oh, yeah. Turn around.
I agree. It's the irrelevance of what some of them are saying that sends a shiver down my spine. Still, at least some of their assertions don't actually incriminate Mr. Natsume of anything. That's something.
We must use that to our advantage, Mr. Naruto. Cunningly.
Yes, you're right. Let's listen to the juries again, carefully. And if any of their assertions are denials, I'll pit them mercilessly against each other.
Yes, don't hold back. Pit them all against each other.
Well, hold
Blood
on.
sport. Death game.
Yes, okay, I can in fact press.
Hold it!
Hold it!
Ah, okay.
Excuse me, but aren't you...
Yes, that's right. I was in the witness stand myself just 2 days ago.
Yes, I had a feeling I knew your face, or the side of it anyway. If I remember correctly, you're a banker, aren't you?
I said that like 5 minutes ago, so yeah. That's right. After the girl was down under, I came back to London to work. It was all going swimmingly until you started frolicking around. Bruce
Okay.
Fairplay was a man of repute.
Wait,
Sorry?
is he Aussie? Oi, oi, oi.
He said he was in Australia, at least.
Struth. Don't look all forgotten there, you dream.
No, I can't do an Australian accent.
You had me that young had a peg to
What
Well,
as criminals?
you
We had
know.
you what?
Water under the bridge.
Until the cliffs of the hunt. Oh, you're saying turn the beat around. Ah. Turn the beat around. Yes.
There was all sorts of rumors buzzing around. The police have been badgering me non-stop.
If I could turn back to the clock.
Well, anyway, I don't know about that, but at least I'm in the clear now. And free to make up my own mind about who's guilty and who isn't.
Thank goodness. Alright, maybe I might struggle to change this man's mind, given our awkward history.
Oh dear, I wonder what's become of Mr. First now.
I bet he's 2 seats down. Give me a minute, I'll get there.
Is he the guy right to the right?
Hold it!
Hold it! You're right that at the time of the incident, the defendant admits to having seen someone wearing a green overcoat walking ahead of him.
Not quite. That's precisely my point. Clearly that someone wearing green was the victim. And clearly that funny little Nipponese man with the disturbing mustache is the culprit.
But let us not forget, madam, the defendant vehemently denies attacking the woman.
Why, of course he does. If he admits to stabbing her, his life is over. The man is obviously a liver-faced coward, honestly, claiming the woman simply collapsed before his eyes.
But if that's a lie, as you're suggesting, do you not think he would have concocted something more credible?
Oh, I really couldn't say. After all, you are foreign. Who's to say what goes through your funny little minds?
I could tell you what's going through my funny little mind right now, but you wouldn't like it.
I do declare the man has already made the admission. He himself has stated there was nobody else around. Surely the conclusion is obvious. No one else could possibly have committed this awful crime. If no one else could have done it, the accused must be the man. Really, couldn't be more simple.
Oh, it was compelling in simplicity, I must admit.
This theme is pretty good.
Oh my, you are too kind, my lord.
That went well, for her.
Love to say objection.
Hold it!
I still don't know if this is first or not. It looks a
But you
lot
can't
like
deny
it.
that there are other routes Mr. Natsume could have taken back from your books.
Oh yes, like you drew on the map, you mean? What was it? Calabash Road or something?
Precisely.
But it seems to me that what counts is whether the little Japanese fellow actually went that way or not.
Well, yes, that's true.
And at the moment, there's no proof that shows he did, is there?
Well, yes, that's true as well.
And as I understand it, the accused himself doesn't remember which way he went, does he?
Well, yes, that's annoyingly true.
Winter nights are dark and cold, so the way I see it, you'd want to get home as quickly as possible.
Well, yes. Why is all this true?
So really, the only thing that makes sense is he went home along Briar Road. Ah, I'm supposed to be convincing you here. I've given it a lot of thought, you know. I didn't just make up my mind on a whim that he did it. I mean, if there was some logical reason why he might have gone to Calabash Roadway, it'd be different. I'd be happy to reconsider my position in that case. Honestly, I would. A reason why Soseki-san might have taken the longer way home.
Yes, a good reason. What if it's because he has no money to pay the gas at his house, so there are no lights, so he wanted more time to read?
Oh, that could be it.
Because they said there's street lights.
Yeah, and that would also say...
That's it, that's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, that could be it, and that would also mean that his hands were full because he was reading a book.
Yeah. Because, like, does he have any light sources? His window's bricked over, and I don't think he has... I mean, he could pay the money for the gas meter thing, I guess. But I think that was also just heat.
Yeah,
and I don't think you could light a fire in that room, could he?
He had like
I don't remember.
Lamp, I think.
Oh, well,
Sherlock
never mind.
was reading by it, I believe. But you might be onto something. We'll just have to see if we get any evidence about it.
Yes, a good reason. I don't imagine you'll be able to sway this young man's opinion with that one.
So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful. Hold it! Nuh-uh. Whatever is the matter, young man? You're the wife of Mr. Garrative, aren't you? The landlord who rents Mr. Natsume his room? The master's wife? Where do you get your ideas, sir? I'm the maid, you understand. She's keeping up that charade? Ugh, this is gonna be awkward. Why didn't you mention this yesterday? That you've been selected for the jury in this trial, I mean. Well, I was told not to mention it to anyone until the day of the trial, you see. It was in the letter I received. The instructions were very clear, so I'm afraid I had no choice. I see. Anyway, Mr. Natsume, the defendant, takes lodging in your master's house, doesn't he? Yes, that's right. Although he's only been in a little over a week now. And in that time, surely you must have taken stock of his character. Does Mr. Natsume look like the kind of man who would commit a crime such as this? Oh my goodness me, yes, he's just the sort. What? Spending all his time in that dark and dingy room sporting that unscrupulous mustache. The man never speaks, and don't get me started on those shifty eyes. All the neighbors are talking about him. I've heard them, you know. People think he must be building a bomb in there or something. But he does talk to people. We know this, we just don't...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a different guy. Oh wait, that guy's name is Lay D first. I forgot.
I also thought it was him.
It looks a lot like him, but I don't think it's supposed to be him.
It's apparently a different guy, yeah. Maybe it's his brother.
Men first. I don't know.
Mendy first.
Couldn't think of a pun in time. Mendy first. Oh dear, poor Mr. Natsume. How could people say such things about him? He's just a harmless bookworm. Nothing more.
Well, you just called him a worm, so... Anyway, I'd better be careful about inviting this maid to speak. She said enough damning things already. Hold it! A man's life is on the line here, sir. This will take as long as it takes.
Never with me now, son. My life's on the line too, and so is my family's.
Ah.
The likes of you wouldn't understand, but a laborer like me can't afford to take time off. If I don't work, I won't eat, and neither do the wife and kids.
Oh, I see. That must be very hard.
I go to the union every morning to find out what needs doing. If your late work's taken, it's tough. This time of year, there's water and gas supply pipes bursting left, right, and center. They're after cheap labor to get the roads dug up to fix it. It's a hard slog from dusk till dawn, it is.
So, you were out digging up the roads on the day of the incident as well, were you?
Oh, that's right. In fact, if I remember rightly, it was just round the corner from where it all happened. By that old bookshop it was.
What? Another
Wait, was there
coincidence.
road construction? Is that why he went the other way?
Oh. Hold on. It says
It's
Meerschaum
right to
Street?
Meerschaum Street. Yeah, that's the one on the
Yeah.
top. So
Yeah,
if there's
yeah.
road
There's
work there, he
construction
might have
there.
gone
Yeah,
down
he had to go the
Calabash.
wrong way.
It depends on where on Mere Street
Yeah.
it was, but he said by the bookstore.
Yeah, nice. I
So
wasn't aware we could get
yeah.
evidence from this.
Yeah, neither was I. I don't think it happened
Meerschaum
last
Street.
time. We just found contradictions.
Yeah. Yeah.
On the map, Mr. Naruto, there are only 3 named streets. Isn't
Juror
that
number
convenient?
5, I need you to add that information to your formal statement, please.
What's the point in that? Can't we all just get this business over with now?
Please, sir, it's important.
Fine, I'll do it then.
There we go. I was digging up Meerschaum Street. Boom! Objection! Those two statements are clearly at odds with one another.
Oh, Scoundrel, explain yourself.
Please don't point. It wasn't me. I swear. Why is he
What?
doing a fucking
I
pose?
just want to get this done and dusted.
Well, juror number
brother.
3.
He also does a boxer stance when
I
he
know.
half the time. It's really good.
Oh, that's me. Oh, me, sir? What do you mean? Juror number 5's words just now are extremely significant. Let's take a moment to consider the implications of what's been said on our map of the local area. On the day in question, Mr. Natsume visited this bookshop to purchase a number of second-hand books. And on the same day, we now know that there was works being carried out on Meerschaum Street, making it impassable. Which means the defendant's route home could not have taken him along Meerschaum Street and down Briar Road. Oh, yes, of course. What do you think, sir?
Well, yeah, you can't argue with that, really, can you? We must have had a good 2 yards or more of the pavement up. Every gentleman and gentlewoman that came along had to turn back and go the other way.
So the only conclusion is this. The defendant must have taken the longer route back to his lodgings. Yes, I suppose he must have.
I suppose that must be right, huh?
Juror number 3, you said the following. The man wouldn't have gone around the houses on his way back from the bookshop. But we see now that he had no choice. Yes. My lord, Mr. Judge, sir, if I may.
Yes?
I don't think in all good conscience that I can say the man's guilty now. Yes, I'd like to see this trial continue so we can get to the bottom of what really happened. Finally, a sensible juror. Finally, a sensible juror who's also just not, like, straight up racist. What about you, sir?
Who, me? Well, alright then. If there's a hole in the prosecution's argument, it should be filled in, that's what I say.
Yeah. Alright, we're getting there.
Oh, well done, Mr. Naruto. That was wonderful.
Well, we've managed to change a couple of minds at least. It's strengthened our position somewhat.
Yes, and it will prompt the other members of the jury to reconsider their stance as well. They will be asking themselves if their current leanings are really right or not. Now, if we could just identify one more clue or discrepancy that would make them stop doubting Mr. Natsume, we might be able to tip the balance completely.
Yes, that's exactly what we've got to do. Van Zieks is looking to bring this trial to an early conclusion. That's what we have to prevent by whatever means we have at our disposal.
Thank you, Counsel. On with the summation examination, please.
Yes, my lord. And then you are the only person I haven't pressed. Hold it!
Yeah, sorry. Fold it, you said. Fold what?
No. What I said was hold it. What I wanted to ask was, do you visit your books often?
Yeah, I like the old books they have in here, yes. Yeah, I enjoy reading them over a nice cup of old tea. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about.
And at what time did you visit your books on the day in question?
Well, I was picking out books in there all afternoon, and it would have been just before 5 that I left. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're all talking about.
Just before 5, you say, exactly when the victim was attacked. Are you sure about the time?
Oh yes, no mistake there. I remember it well. I'm not about to forget that day in a hurry, not after the dreadful time I had.
What do you mean?
Well, I was walking down Calabash Road when I slipped on the ice and donked my head.
Something about the phrase donked my head is getting me.
It's always worse when the snow stops falling. That's when it's most slippery. Knocked myself clean out, I did. I really thought my number was up.
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. This happened on Calabash Road?
Yeah, that's right. I live in Cornpipe, you see. Heading down Calabash Road is the quickest way for me to get back from your books.
Juror number 6, I must insist that you add that information to your formal statement. It may very well be extremely significant. I appreciate all the qualifiers in that sentence, because it's the exact same way that I speak, and I'm kind of annoyed by it.
It may very well be.
Sorry, extremely sick. No, I'm quite alright now.
You've changed two of the jurors' minds, Mr. Haruda.
Yes, just 2 more to go.
Deliver the finishing blow now. It's time to turn the tables here.
Wish I knew how to do a Susato takedown. I suppose words will have to suffice for now. I begin judo flipping the jurors. Objection! There we go. Those 2 statements clearly show a flaw in the jurors' reasoning.
A flaw? What are you talking about, counsel?
Well, juror number 2, juror number 6.
What of it do you mean, sir?
Yeah.
I think perhaps the old man didn't hear you.
Unbelievable. It's not like I was loud or anything. There is at least one fact of which we can be sure here. The bookshop receipt found in the defendant's room clearly indicates that on the day of the attack, he had to have been to your books and purchased a number of second-hand titles. He then returned home on foot.
The man says he has no recollection of his return journey.
That's correct. But what he does remember is seeing someone appear in front of him on the way. Someone in a green overcoat who suddenly collapsed on the pavement before his eyes.
Yes, we are all well aware of this. The poor young woman who was stabbed, obviously.
Objection! Can we really be sure of that, madam?
My, whatever do you mean?
I'm sure you heard juror number 6's account of what happened to him that day. That same afternoon, there was somebody else apart from the victim, who was wearing a green overcoat and who fell over on the icy streets in the neighborhood.
Oh my. My goodness, you mean...
That's right. I'm referring, of course, to the hard of hearing juror number 6.
Are you really suggesting that the person in the green overcoat whom the defendant saw collapse in front of his eyes was the jolly old gentleman on the end of the bench here with me today?
That is entirely possible, yes. After all, the old man has a somewhat similar build to the victim.
Ooh, look at that.
My goodness me.
Yeah, sorry. You need a pee.
And crucially, we know precisely where the old man in the green overcoat fell.
On Calabash Road.
Therefore, if the person whom Mr. Natsume saw collapsing in front of him was in fact juror number 6, it means the defendant must have taken the long route back to his lodgings. And if that's true, then clearly, the crime scene on Briar Road where the woman was stabbed was not on his way home. Now, the books are still there, which is weird.
You idiot old man, if you hadn't been so daft as to be roaming about there, we'd have boxed this off hours ago.
And really, what were you thinking wearing such a befuddling coat?
What do you say to me? Is it a crime for the elderly to walk the streets these days? Is it a crime to slip on the ice? Is it a crime to keep up with the latest styles and wear a beautiful green overcoat, is it?
Hold it. My lord, I do hope it won't cause any inconvenience, but...
You'd like to say you're lenient, I presume.
I do declare that I would. I should like to call for a verdict of not guilty.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would too.
What?
Is it a crime to change your mind? Is it? Well,
I really like this guy. He just says stuff, man. It's great.
I love old deaf men.
wait.
I hope the
Real
person on
Mr.
the end.
Magoo.
I hope the person on the end of the bench is always just some elderly person.
Like every time.
We're 2 for 2 so far.
Well, let all some of these experiments conclude with a matter lordship's in opinion. The eyes see the news for, the news have it, not guilty, they say. Which means we no longer have the consensus among members of the jury. The trial will continue.
Objection.
Why? But he couldn't have gone that way, Van Zeeks. Like... Oh, okay.
Would it seem churlish of me to drink from my hallowed chalice moments after raising an objection?
Yes.
Only to crush it in disgust.
Yes.
Pray forgive the discourtesy. He always says
Lord
this
Van
shit.
Zeeks?
It's so good. He's always just like, I'm sorry I lost my cool for a second. But then he does it again. It seems I must retract my earlier remark.
What do you mean?
I mistakenly credited those jurors with intelligence by describing them as insightful. Yet we have just witnessed them falling for a cheap trick performed by an Eastern entertainer.
Okay.
Whatever do you mean?
Objection! I haven't tricked anyone. Everything I've said is the truth.
Indeed, stalwart juror number 5 was undoubtedly repairing the road as he claims. I believe you said it was a good 2 yards of the pavement which you had excavated, sir.
That's right, took me the whole day and they paid me a measly tuppence for it.
Now, my learned Nepalese friend, tell me. Do you have any notion of the distance that 2 yards represents?
6 feet.
6 feet.
Well, if I'm honest, I don't have a clue, no.
2 yards is a little less than 2 meters.
Less than 2 meters? That's not much at all.
In other words, a distance readily vaulted by... Excuse me.
No.
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 Yeah, just long jump 6 feet, Lamau.
I don't think I could do... I could have done that when I was in middle school, maybe, but I doubt I could do it now. And I have to be more in shape than Mr. Book Nerd is.
Right? In other words, a distance readily vaulted by anyone of moderate vigor. Would you not agree, my stalwart friend?
Me? Well, I can't say you're wrong, no.
What?
And did you perchance erect a sign to prevent pedestrians from passing the site of your works?
I wouldn't dream of it. What a waste of time. Don't coaches would have had a hope of passing anyway, and we just turn away any gentlefolk back when they came. Kids jump right over it all the time.
The accused is no gentleman as far as I can see. I have little doubt, however, that he could spring over a 2-yard trench in his meanderings around the town.
That's absolute nonsense. Ah,
That's absolute horseshit
true?
you're selling
Is
right
it?
now, Van Zeeks. Excuse me? The incontrovertible truth is that the books just purchased by the accused were found at the scene. There can be no doubt that on his way back to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume walked down Briar Road.
crushed in a single sentence.
and the old man.
Cold man, you can talk.
What? Oh, you can talk. I
You
get
say
it.
that around. You say that around 5 o'clock on the day in question, you slipped and fell on Calabash Road. Pray, was there a suspicious-looking Nipponese behind you at the time?
Oh, yeah, I can't say as I remember.
You don't remember?
How about the wager, my learned friend? You say that this old man that the accused saw. But I would lay 1,000 to 1 against you being able to prove it.
That's not fair. I can't prove it. That's not how any of this works. I don't have to prove things, I just have to say shit.
Old man, explain yourself.
My lord,
Have you got such a trenchant argument up your sleeve? Why in the world did you not proffer it during the summation examination?
humph. I wanted to give this young foreign student the sightseeing experience he no doubt came for. I wanted him to see for himself how the opinion of the jury is so readily swayed. But my hospitality has its limits, and they have been reached, I feel.
Rips off the cloak. Yeah!
There it is. So, my learned friend, today's sightseeing tour of London is now over.
What are you talking about?
My lord. Other point. The prosecution requests permission to call its next witnesses to the stand.
Granted, bailiff, bring forward the witnesses.
It's next witnesses?
Mr. Naruto, do you not remember? We've been told on several occasions that there were eyewitnesses to the
me
incident.
straight up killing the defense with my sword.
Boy!
Play.
Boy!
Yes, I remember. One of them being a Scotland Yard policeman, no less.
I'm afraid that's likely to be the prosecution's next witness.
Alright, no matter who Van Zeeks brings to the stand as his witnesses, and no matter what they say, I believe in Sosuke-san. I know he's innocent. And I'll keep believing that to the very end, until this battle is over. To be continued. Oh, never mind. Oh, dear.
Would we actually be okay with calling it like a half stream?
You're dying.
I've kind of, yeah. I was more. Listen, I'd like to continue, but
You've
I
seen
don't
the
know if I've
witnesses.
It feels like it's gonna. You know, I didn't
gonna-
want to.
It's gonna be one of those.
It's gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we could just maybe,
Yeah, that's
maybe take
fine.
a short one.
Yeah, no
Now I'm
problem.
gonna go eat a banana. Recover.
All right. Well, have a good night, everyone. I guess we'll see you tomorrow for Yakuza, probably. Bye. Shit.
I'm
but-
sorry, Moloch. I deeply apologize, and I
Bye.
appreciate your understanding.